Hello all. As we all know that our body is completely made up of four types of tissue. So basically we have four types of animal tissue where the entire kingdom is made up of. These four types of animal tissue are basically, we've already been studying about this. Number one, epithelial tissue. Number two, connective tissue. Number three, muscular tissue. And number four, nervous tissue. As we all know that the entire human body is made up of all these four tissues, we will be focusing on the nervous tissue. The nervous tissue consists of two parts called as neurons and the neuroglia. The nervous tissue consists of two parts called as the neuron and the neuroglia. The neurons are also known as nerve cells. We can also call them nerve cells. Neurons are basically responsible for the most unique functions like sensing, then thinking, remembering, regulating body secretions, your hormones. Everything is being taken care by neurons, whereas the neuroglia basically are present to support, protect and nourish the activity of neuron. The neurons are responsible for the unique functions like sensing, thinking, remembering, regulating our hormones, various body secretions, whereas neuroglia supports, protects and nourishes the neurons and the activity of neuron. Most neurons basically are divided into three parts. Most neurons are divided into three parts. First, the cell body. Second, the dendrite, and third, the axon. The cell body is the integration part where the entire working actually happens. It's the integration part. Whereas the dendrites is the input part. The signal basically enters through the dendrite, and the axon is the output part. The signal exits the neuron through the axon. So basically neurons are the cells or neurons are the cells that possess electrical excitability, the ability to respond to a stimulus and convert it into an action potential. Now let's look on to the neuron. First we'll see the nervous system's first part, neuron, and then we're going to talk about neuroglia. Talking about neuron, divide into three parts: the cell body, the integration part, the dendrites, the input part, and the axon, the output part. We'll be discussing each in detail. Talking about the cell body this cell body is also called as perikaryon. The cell body is also known as perikaryon. Karyon means nucleus, peri means towards the periphery. A nucleus towards the periphery is called the perikaryon, which consists of a nucleus along with other cell organelles like lysosomes, mitochondria. Then we have Golgi complex, ribosomes, which are free found in the cell body of the neuron. We can see some clusters of the rough endoplasmic reticulum. These clusters of rough endoplasmic reticulum are called as Nissel's body. Nissel's body. These are also known as Nissel's granules. These Nissel granules basically play the role of synthesis of protein in the cell body. So these play an important role during the functioning of a neuron. Except for lysosomes, mitochondria, GC, ribosomes, Nissel's body, there are the cytoskeleton part of the cell body, which includes two things. One is the neurofibrils and the other the microtubules. It consists of two parts, the neurofibrils and the other, the microtubules. The neurofibrils, as you guys already know, is for the shape and the support of neuron. It helps in the shape and support of neuron, whereas the microtubules basically helps, as in other cell organelles also, transportation of materials between the cell body and axon. Along with all this, there is a small other chemical called as lipofuscin. What is lipofuscin? Lipofuscin is a neuronal lysosome. Basically, when the neurons age, after a little point of time, their aging leads to these formation of a product of neuronal lysosomes called as lipofuscin. That's about the cell body. The second part of your neuron is the nerve fiber. A nerve fiber basically are the neuronal processes. A nerve fiber along with the neuronal processes can be called as the extensions of a cell body of a neuron. The nerve fiber can be called as the extensions of the cell body of a neuron. So if this is the cell body, these are all the nerve fibers. So this is the cell body and these are all the nerve fibers. So as I'm saying that these are neuronal processes or the extension of a neuron, so it is very easily understood that these are of two types called the dendrite or the dendron and the axon. The dendrite or the dendron or the axon. So these blue color extensions which are present around the cell body are called the dendrites or the dendrons, and this part, the orange color extension, is called the axon. Talking about the dendrites, these are the receiving portions of a neuron. They are short, highly branched part containing Nissel's body. These contain Nissel's body. They also contain few mitochondria. And a few other cell organelles. So this is about your dendrite. So dendrite has nothing major to study for. You have short, highly branched structures containing Nissel's body, mitochondria and other cell organelles. These are the receiving portions. The signal comes through the dendrite, integrates in the cell body and travels through the axon to the exit. The second part of your nerve fiber is the axon. So now axon has a lot of names to be remembered. The first thing, that the axon is a long, thin cylinder-like structure that joins at a point to the cell body, and this point is called as axon hillock. The point where axon joins to the cell body is called as axon hillock. The part of the axon closest to the axon hillock, that I can say this part, the part of the axon closest to the axon hillock is called as initial segment. It is called as initial segment. So now the junction which I can name as this, the junction of the axon hillock and the initial segment is now called as a trigger zone. In later videos, I'll be explaining what exactly is a trigger zone. The junction of axon hillock and initial segment is called the trigger zone. The cytoplasm of the axon is called the axoplasm. The cytoplasm of the axon is called the axoplasm, whereas the plasma membrane of the axon is called the axolemma. The plasma membrane of the axon is called the axolemma. Along with all this, the axon also has mitochondria, microtubules and neurofibrils. Okay, let me tell you, there are no Nissel's granules or Nissel's body present in it. So Nissel's body is absent. So in a way, rough endoplasmic reticulum is also absent in axon. Therefore, protein synthesis cannot take place here. If you can see, there are a few branches at the sides of the length of the axon. These branches are termed as axon collaterals. These branches are termed as axon collaterals. So they are basically axons part only. They are like the branching of the axon. These can be seen in a lot of neurons. The axon end, this part of axon ends into many fine processes like structure, and this is called as axon terminal. Now this, along with axon terminal, has many other names called as telodendron or telodendria. So we can call it axon terminal, telodendron or telodendria. At the last you will see these bulb-like structures. These bulb-like structures are called as synaptic end bulbs or varicosities. There are two. So if they are bulb swollen like structures, these will be called as synaptic end bulbs, and if these are string like structures, so these are swollen sacs. And if they are string like structures, these will be called as varicosities. So varicosities will be string like structures, and swollen sacs would be called as synaptic end bulbs. So I'm talking about these structures, guys: synaptic end bulbs and varicosities. So the end of telodendron, or at the junction of the telodendron, you will find synaptic end bulbs or varicosities. Now you have a space between one neuron and the other neuron, or you have a space between neuron and another effector cell. This space is called as synapse. This space is called as synapse. Now these sacs, the synaptic end bulbs and the varicosities, contain another structures, sac-like structures called as synaptic or synaptic vesicles. Synaptic or synaptic vesicles. Now these synaptic vesicles store chemicals which are called as neurotransmitters. Stores chemical which are called as neurotransmitter. Materials in the neuron, of course, are synthesized, resynthesized, recycled, replaced, and all that transportation of the materials from the cell body till the end of the axon terminals or the synaptic bulbs or varicocytes till the synaptic vesicle is done by two transport systems. One transport system is called the slow axonal transport. As the name says, the transport in the system is really slow, and the second one is called as fast axonal transport. Of course, the same name says the transportation is fast of the materials in this transport system. Here the slow axonal system transports materials from around 1.5 millimeter per day, which is like really slow, as compared to the fast axonal, which transport materials or move materials around 200 to 400 millimeter per day. You can compare, this is so really fast. Slow axonal transport may materials move only in one direction. एक ही जगह से, that's from cell body towards the axon, no repetition or no coming back. Whereas here it is a two-way system. Two-way system, it can move in one direction also from cell body to axon, whereas it can again move back from all the way to from synaptic end bulbs and vesicles to the cell body. So this is a two-way transportation system, faster, and transports almost 200 to 400 millimeter per day, which is any day useful for the materials present in the neuron. With this, I end today's lecture. We discussed the entire neuron. We will be discussing neuroglia in the second part of the video.